Good evening. Hope you're having a good Friday night. We're about to get it started here. I shared my own stream. Let's go. Let's go me. Good evening. Hello. How are you doing? How's everybody? All two people. How's it going? Oh, I'm so stuffed, guys. Had some good food. Only positive vibes tonight. Let me see. Who's up? It was a long week, man. Just glad it's Friday. Gonna get started here in just a minute. As I spam the link everywhere. Why do I have so many followers on Twitter that just followed me? Bots? Question mark? If you're not following me on Twitter, why not? Why aren't you following me on Twitter? That's not my Twitter. I almost just shared somebody else's Twitter. Epic. Epic gamer moment. Make sure you follow me over there. We keeping it fun and casual. Nothing crazy. Bear with me as we get it rolling. Hey, it's pretty clear what's going on. I started reading that. That's nuts. That's pretty bad. All that stuff is going to start coming out now. But when he left, he signed a piece of paper that said he can't sue the team if he wants to get his exit salary. Should be illegal. I saw that. That's really, really odd. But that's standard, I believe, from what I was hearing. That's like standard operating procedure for NFL teams once they fire you as a head coach or as a coach. I think in general, I think they make you sign. It's basically like an extreme NDA. You know, you don't have to sign it, but if you want to get paid that last check for whatever it's worth to you. It is pretty nuts though. It looks like I disconnected. I don't know if I did or didn't. Man. Okay, I think we're back. I don't know what happened. Streamlabs took a dump on me. Okay. We're up. I don't know what's going on here. Internet is fine. Yeah, we should be good. Odd. I don't know what happened. Streamlabs. Looks like Streamlabs just took a dump. Took a poopy. Let me make sure I'm good. I have no clue what's going on with Streamlabs. It just keeps crashing. I'm gonna let it run again here just for a little bit, and if it doesn't work or if I have issues still, I'll restart it. I'm not sure why. Performance is fine. I don't have any dropped frames. The DJ always. We have the smoothest of jams. I don't know what the problem is, dude. Honestly, it's definitely not the internet. Internet's been working just fine, and I have the music streaming in the background. It hasn't stopped streaming the music, but maybe I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I have it direct connected now. I haven't had any other problems. You know, I was playing Overwatch earlier today. No disconnects, no pink spikes, nothing. So it may just be Streamlabs. I might have to like restart the computer, but we'll see. No, I don't run a UPS. I do not. So let's see. If I could keep my stream up for more than 5 minutes, we could probably get help, but yeah, I get you. Maybe, yeah. Anyway. So, let's see. The Browns' bonuses for tanking. Is this... Step back. I'm doing all right, buddy. It was a busy week work-wise, but had a good night. Went out with family to celebrate my wife's book launch. She just released her first novel, so it's pretty dope. All good things, dude. Positive vibes. Put it out into the universe. On-field ranked 25th or better in aggregate racing. I'm gonna pull some of this stuff up that you sent, so we can go over it. I'm gonna hop in the stream chat. I see you're in there. Read the text after. Okay. What's up, dude?
What up, man?
What is all this craziness?
That's the problem, is I'm still trying to figure it out.
You're piecing everything together.
I mean, it's like some of it I knew, and I told you we were talking because like a week ago or a week and a half ago they had said, "Oh, well, he changed what he said," and I was like, "No, he did not change anything that he said."
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, all we're doing is getting the information now, and we're getting the correct headlines and the correct what he is accusing them of, and everything he said from day one has been exactly the same thing. He said they paid him via incentives to basically do things that were tanking, and that the only way for him to accomplish those goals was to put a bad team on the field.
That's nuts. If this is like verifiable, which it seems like it is.
Oh, it's verified. I mean, they have all the evidence, and they're just straight up like. And the way that I started reading this was there was an article they posted that said Goodell just legalized how people can tank, because he said if they do it via incentives, there's nothing against it. So
where did he say that?
I sent the link in the Discord, but I'll re-link it.
Okay.
But basically, he was trying to say like they couldn't find anything that the Browns did as far as paying the coach to throw games, and they said there's no issue with whatever the incentives are that the team wants to offer the head coach. You know,
that's nuts.
Like the head coach going out to go get extra draft picks because he has control over that. I mean, come on now.
The NFL just approved a manual for tanking.
Yeah, it's like the second paragraph in there. They talk about specific rules.
But it says, so if he won 3 wins, he got $100K, and then if he won up to 7 games, he got $500. So he got more money for winning more games.
There's no way for him to accomplish the tasks in the incentives. So that's what I'm saying. The chart doesn't make sense because it's out of context a little bit. The explanation of what they did is pretty fucked up.
Are you talking about in the Sports Illustrated article?
Yeah, so this one links to another one, and I started reading both of them.
There is no merit to suggestions that offering incentives to win a certain number of games violates Article 9.1c8 of the NFL Constitution and bylaws, which prohibits bonuses to coaches for winning particular games against particular opponents. One point of contention in Jackson's claims that has not yet been reported is that the Browns, after scraping an incentive structure that rewarded the head coach for draft capital and salary cap space carryover, installed a new bonus system negotiated between Haslam and Jackson's agent. It's a well, that's kind of problematic there, because this was negotiated between Haslam and Hugh Jackson's agent. This is something that they worked on. This isn't something that they just said, "Oh, here, Hugh Jackson, by the way." Like, this is stuff that's on the books.
No. So there's a lot more to it. So the Browns had a book, and they called it the 4-year plan, and it was what they were going to do for 4 years. That's why the sheet that it points to has 4 years on it. Mm-hmm. And the incentives change based on the progress each year, which, again, this is everything that Hugh Jackson said way back when, blah, blah, blah. But there's certain things, like in the first 2 years, the bonuses are tied to not spending any capital. So he has to not sign free agents or not pay players, whatever it is, and then sign a certain amount of free agents, and then bring a certain amount of cap space into next season, and he would get a bonus based on that.
Make at least 11 picks, 5 in the first 3 rounds.
And when you look at like the incentive sheet, there's a lot of weird things. So it says like make 11 picks in the draft, which is just insane. 5 in the first 3 rounds, which again is just insane. How are you going to get those many picks without just trading away franchise players?
Okay, but trading away franchise players isn't necessarily tanking either.
Right, but I mean, it speaks to they're in the quote unquote rebuild, blah blah blah, and there's a lot of like conversation where the media was talking to Hugh Jackson back in the day, and they were talking about certain quotes where he said, "Well, there's a fine line between a rebuild and tanking," and then that's where the quote kind of stopped. But I mean, you can tell like he was trying to do what he needed to sort of save face.
But there's not a fine, in my opinion, there's not a fine line between tanking and a rebuild, because tanking is purposely losing games.
Right.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying is like this is their, like, you have to understand it's like a shell game, so they have to say one thing and do another. So this is what you see on public space, but the other article goes into everything that was happening behind the scenes. So basically, he complained to Goodell and complained to the NFL and complained to whoever for like the entire time that this was going on. He's like, this is bullshit. This doesn't make sense. And then what's happening is other coaches and other players and other people that were involved in this process are now seeing what was going on at the top. So now he's got players that are like, well, you fucked my career, so I'm going to sue the Browns now, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the examples, and it's in the text or whatever, like I said, if you want to go through, but like they were winning against the Steelers. Big rivalry game. We all know the Browns and the Steelers and blah, blah, blah. So they were up, and at halftime he just walked off the field because he wasn't allowed to, or whatever, win a certain amount of games or blah, blah, blah. So he basically put like the equipment manager to go play calls.
But there's nowhere in here that it says that they weren't supposed to win a certain number of games.
Right, but what I'm saying is this is all in context of, so if you look at it, it says ranked 27th or better in rankings, right? And then it says ranked 20. And then year 3, it says win at least 10 games. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was like a system to it as far as, and then there's certain things where it says like game management, top 10 in win probability added to 4th down tries. So what that means is they're not allowed to punt the ball. He has to go for it every time on 4th down to try and get the percentage up or whatever.
I don't see, but you're looking at it from that perspective. That's not necessarily the case, because in year one you're not going to be expected to win 10 games, right? The bar is set really low in year one because you're in year one of a rebuild. Nobody expects to win,
Right.
more than 8 games in a rebuild year. Nobody expects, and being the top 10 in win probability added on fourth down. I mean, that could just be like, hey, we want to be more aggressive on fourth down. That's just something that they're trying to push. That doesn't necessarily mean, we're throwing. If anything, punting the ball away on fourth down is more along the lines of giving up the ball. I mean,
So a
this
lot
is
of
it seems like very weak. This seems
no, no,
really weak.
I understand that. I totally understand what you're saying. What's coming out, and this is kind of where you get into like the philosophy of things of understanding what's going on based on what other people's experiences are. So other coaches that are talking about this, and again, everything's anonymous. They're not going to say who it is,
Of
anything like
course.
that, because they don't want to know. But they're just like, if this hit my desk and I saw this, obviously we're fucking tanking. Like that was one of the quotes from the article. There's another one that's like half of these incentives, or half of whatever it is, that it's absurd to offer these to a coach. Like it's never been done before, type of shit.
I don't know. It's even if it's not been done, this is something that was discussed between
I get
Hugh
what you're saying.
Jackson's.
I do.
It feels super weird. I see what if the NFL does nothing with this, I wouldn't blame them because there's nothing here. I would feel totally different if it said win less than 5 games